Alright, so today we're going to talk about throwing. I've noticed a trend of players that are playing Marvel Rivals, and what they will do is the most silly thing ever. They will, first round start, you're kind of testing the waters, maybe you're the aggressive side or the defensive side. They will literally go, let's say 2 for 6, and after they do that, they will literally switch to a medic next game and be like, oh, I was playing medic. That's why I don't have kills. When clearly, the previous round they were on Wolverine. Or my favorite. Black Panther is a character that is beyond high skill to play. He's very much like, once he uses his resources, he's pretty much cooked. But I've noticed a trend in a lot of just videos I've been watching, right? So let's talk about throwing, or just the whole rage baiting discussion, right? So rage baiting, or should I say high level, intellectual rage baiting, is saying something absurd on comms and getting, a reaction. But when I say absurd, I mean like creatively absurd. Just cussing somebody out randomly, that's not intelligent rage bait. That's just you just having a low IQ and being like, that's childish. But I've been noticing lately a lot more of players will literally ask someone else to get off of what they're playing. I had this happen, I kid you not. We were playing the other day. I'll find the video. We were playing the other day, and he was like, oh, he was playing this character and I didn't like that, and I told him to switch and he didn't, so now I'm throwing. I'm like, okay, and the funny part was the same dude was like not even he was at the exact same score, and he was like, well, I'm not playing my main character. So I'm like, you're not trying. And this brings me to another topic that we need to really fix on Marvel Rivals. If the entire team accepts surrender and the one troll / low IQ player doesn't want to accept it, we should really do a majority rules. If 5 out of the 6 players choose to leave, or it's 4 out of 6. If it's 3 to 3, I get, okay, no, they got a balanced amount of trolls. That makes sense. But there's no reason that it should be 5 out of 6 players that I want to leave, and we are still sitting there listening to this dude talking about, I'm throwing, I'm AFK, I'm throwing. And he's just sitting in the lobby, just standing there just like this, like a statue. That's gotta go. Also, the thing with solo queue, right? So solo queue, I managed to get first season about gold rank. This season about on gold 3, moving on gold 2. If you're MVP, right, or SVP, I feel like they need to increase the amount of points that you have, because what'll happen is there's a very vicious cycle of you have actual talented players being matched up continuously with like really bad players. And what'll happen is, if you don't find friends to queue up with or teammates to queue up with, you will perpetually be stuck in what we call solo queue hell. For those that don't know, is basically you're the SVP, the MVP, and you're consistently getting more kills, you're doing more healing, you've got well-timed positioning, you've got good health, heals, you barely die. Essentially, you're carrying the weight of the team. And while it's somewhat satisfying, maybe 1 game or 2 games, I've noticed that the way this game works is if you are basically constantly, again, very positive KD, which is like 30 to 2 or 35, 15, 35, 0. Prepare for your next 2 or 3 games to be matched up with some of the most abysmal players you've ever seen. And I'm not to say that anyone's particularly bad, which they are, but I've been noticing a thing where like what's starting to scare me is that there are players that are genuinely, and hear me out, genuinely bad, like genuinely bad. And we're gonna pause for a moment break real quick. And hear me out, genuinely bad. Like, I'm talking about, I had a dude that I deadass had to tell him give me Iron Man, because he would play Iron Man, sit in one spot, and just die. He would literally get farmed by Hela. So let's talk about matchups, right? Okay. If the team has Spider-Man, the team has Hela, the team has Punisher, and they're all on the same team, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've got Lord on Iron Man, which again, Lord means nothing, but if you look at my stats on Iron Man, it's pretty nasty, pretty decent. Better than most, I would say, at least. But again, even me being an Iron Man main, I love playing me some Iron Man, or I'm probably gonna support the most time on Iron Man. If I see Hela, Spider-Man, and Punisher, and they're all down the same hallway / working together, or Scarlet Witch on the same team, just switch. Please just switch. I've been seeing it's been a lot of players that are literally doing bad in game 1 and game 2, and they're not switching because they're thinking maybe I'm just playing the character wrong, or maybe I'm playing the wrong, setup, or maybe my team's just bad. It's not the team that's just bad, it's you. You're bad. Like, something's not clicking up here. The screws ain't all put in, but I'm trying to tell you right now, sometimes it's not how good you play the character, it's the matchup. Spider-Man is like a 4-dimensional character. He goes beyond 3D. Iron Man, you're just like a 3-dimensional. No, you don't know. No, screw that. You're a 2.5 dimensional character. You look one way, and you're focused on what's below you and what's in front of you. And you can kind of rotate a little bit like a little turret. Spider-Man is like literally web swinging from here to back to here to back, but like pretty much in all Iron Man mates can pretty much agree with me on this. If he hits you with that web and he knows the combo, you're gonna die. It's not a let me fly away. No, if he hits you with that web and you don't have armor and there's no medics, which 90% of the time when you play Iron Man, you're playing pretty much solo, there is no medics. Yeah, you're going to die. So let it be known right now that matchups are important. If a team has Namor, right? Namor, Hela, Punisher. Namor by himself will ruin your entire Iron Man experience. I promise you. Like, you will become a slow, restricted character because every 5 seconds you're gonna have to stop what you're doing and look for squids. And now with the new change that Hulk gives him, right? You have to now worry about Hulk literally yanking you out of the air, Namor squids, and what was the, oh yeah, don't forget my favorite thing. There's other Iron Man players. So what they'll do is they will literally harass you, and they'll be bad. That's another thing. They'll be really bad, but you'll stop what you have to do. You have just a 1v1 with this one Iron Man because your team, for some reason, they think that Iron Man's supposed to get Iron Man. I've heard this too. This is another point that just kills me. They're like, well, you're in the air, so you should be fighting him. This isn't Dragon Ball Z. This is not Dragon Ball Z. I'm not gonna sit here and 1v1 Iron Man. Okay, I've done it, and I can do it. But while I'm killing one Iron Man, I could be killing 5 other players. I could be killing the team's medics. I'm just saying. People that are on the ground, if you're a healer, right? I play healer. I don't want to hear y'all don't look up. I look up all the time. You know why I look up? Because Spider-Man be in the skies web swinging. And if you don't look up, hey, he gonna get on you like Jeepers Creepers. He gonna get all behind you. He gonna tear you up. So, hey, that's what they say, pause. Hey, pause. But short and sweet, there is no reason why medics are not aware of their environment, okay? Let's get to my next thing with medics. As a medic, your #1 job is to heal. Every single medic. The only medic I will give a pass on healing is actually Jeff. Jeff can heal. Yes, he can. He's powerful in healing, but he's actually more powerful in flanking, okay? He's more of a dive medic hybrid. That's how they kind of designed him. But the healing aspect, or just the healer game plan in general, because the game is relatively simple when it comes to like what you're supposed to do. When you're using characters like, let's say Cloak and Dagger, for instance, right? You know, I'll probably do a Cloak and Dagger guide later this month. But Cloak and Dagger's job primarily is to heal until you get your ult, right? You heal, you play passive until you get your ult. Sometimes, which is crazy, hear me out, sometimes while you're playing passive and you're healing, let's say it's you, Hulk, versus another just Hulk by himself. I've seen all the time where Hulk would just hop out there and he doesn't have the IQ to fight another medic, so he fights another Hulk, and he's thinking, oh, well, I've got to jump on this Hulk. But you, Cloak and Dagger, you pull up, you're just throwing, you know what I'm saying, throwing the heat. And you're healing, right? So now the exchange is 2 versus 1. As a medic, you never do 1v1. You can win 1v1. I've done it plenty of times before, but you typically, even when you're getting jumped in the back line, you want to basically have like a buddy. You know what I'm saying? So like, as a medic, you want to assign yourself with, let's say, the tank, Groot. You get a lot of actual buildup of your special move off of healing the tanks. So the whole thing of I'm just going to say, well, because I don't have any kills because I play medic, that's bunkus. That's baloney. Like, yes and no. Unless you have 30,000 heals because your team is that bad, you need to get some kills. Like I'm telling you, especially with Cloak and Dagger. Like, Cloak and Dagger is the type of medic because she has like the little magical healing, light pulses, whatever you call it. She can literally pester Iron Man out of the air and kill him in most situations because most Iron Mans are just terrible. Same thing with Human Torch. Spider-Man. Everyone wants to ban Spider-Man. I 100% agree that you need to ban Spider-Man 90% of the time, right? However, as Cloak and Dagger, if you, Punisher, Penny are all shooting at him, Cloak and Dagger's not going to miss. She doesn't really miss. If she's within range, like let's say a good 40 meters out, and she's throwing like the little healing orbs, she doesn't miss. Everybody else is just really designed to kind of distract and keep him like busy and wasting his resources, but she doesn't miss. So it's really like a matter of time unless he decides to come down directly to you. But in that case, you're going to throw the bubble at the ground, possibly go into Cloak, and then teleport away anyway. So you're literally built to stop diving. Like, that's kind of Cloak's thing. However, I've seen too many times where healers were my favorite thing was Sue Storm. Amazing medic, right? People will play Sue Storm just to not get any deaths. They will literally play AFK passive the entire game, barely heal, and just sit in the corner, just invisible, just sitting there, just like, that's not gonna cut it. She's the exact example of what I mean. You need to stay partnered up with somebody else. If you're behind, let's say Penny, like my Penny right here, and you're throwing the orbs, not only does that stack healing on the actual person in front of you, it goes through them and it hits the enemy. Like, she's made to be in close proximity to another player. She's not made to sit in the back line and just pray something happens. You know something else Soul Storm can also do? Because you're invisible, right? You can literally just walk along this outer perimeter where the enemy is when we're like going to go capture the base or whatever, and the objective. And you can quite literally go sit at the point and literally capture it, and then they have to turn around to see what it is. And by the time you get back, you're already invisible again. Like you can put this mental pressure on the opponent to literally have to face a different direction. If they face a different direction, we're gonna have a way better point at the game. Like, I'm just saying, like, short and sweet. But that's the end of my Marvel Rivals rant. We've talked about a lot today. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Till next time. Peace. Wait. Don't forget that subscription. That subscription button right there. Hit that. Till next time. Peace.